I remember vividly when I was organizing inside Yazwo. They call it detention center, but I call it a concentration center for people who are supposed to be deported. But I was there for over a year, so it wasn't actually meant for deportation. It's a concentration place. When we were organizing in there, looking at how things were going, why would people just be kept in one place and also used as slaves? You know, the UK is against modern day slavery, isn't it? Anyone? But that's the truth, isn't it? There's a law against modern day slavery in this country. However, if you happen to be in Yazwood like I was working when I didn't have papers. I was paid £1 an hour to serve the immigration officers food and other detainees when I didn't have papers. And I was detained and sent to prison because I was working without papers and I was paying tax and then that I will never recover from. So let's leave that for another day. So to tell you, when we were thinking about all of this, that was where the organization came from. And everybody in there said, Aderonke, we need to do something. And I want to talk about the care now. And I said to them, we're in a locked up place. It's a prison. You can't go out. You can't do anything. You have the keys with the guards. I said, I do not have any power to protect you if we strike anything in here because everybody will be deported, including myself. So why would I want to risk people's lives to wanting to organize to that level that they will be deported all of a sudden? And I said to them, do not worry. Let us build it up to the point. You want to fight and win. You don't want to just start a fight and you can't do anything about it. So we were still organizing, talking, praying. When they come into my room, because we could hear the keys. Immediately we hear the keys from afar. We put somebody on the ground and we all start praying. Yeah, because we are allowed to pray, isn't it? There's freedom of religion wherever you are, whether in prison or anywhere. So as soon as they leave, we don't hear the keys again. We start our organizing. So you've got to be strategic. You've got to be creative like they are. They are always very, very creative. So you have to be one step ahead of them. So eventually when we were going to have this demonstration or rally or strike, whatever we want to call it, it was at a point where I had built some kind of connection with people outside of Yazwo to say, this is what is happening in here and this is what we want to do. What can you do if somebody was going to be deported? We are detained already. Can I call you? Or if somebody calls you about me, will you stand up? Will you get me a solicitor? Will you do anything? So I was working with them and I was able to get that confidence that they would act. So we need to be thinking about this when we are organizing. Then the moment came. A woman was going to be deported back to Uganda, and in protest she pulled off her clothes. But guards went in there to pick her and then they put a blanket over her and they were taking her to the airport to deport her, and she was screaming and everybody was talking to me, calling me, Aderonke, what we're going to do? I said, come on, this is the time. So the time came because we've had all the structures in place. And then we had a demonstration.
Yeah.
There was no movement in and out of the Yazwood Detention Center. There was helicopter, cars, vehicles, police everywhere because they thought we were going to damage things. But it was very, very peaceful. We didn't damage any property. We did not hurt anybody. It was like that for like 2 days, lockdown. Amazingly, so many people got released. They were not deported. Yes. Yeah. Back into the community.
Yeah.
However, I was sent to prison to be made an example of, and there was no charges against me. I was just kept in the prison because in prison you can't use your phone. So they thought I had too much freedom in there. So to cage me, I was sent to prison. Then I had to, at that point, no solicitor wanted to touch, you see, that troublemaker. No, we're not going to do your case. So I had no solicitor, no legal representative. However, because people were asking me to read their papers for them then, and I didn't, I didn't let that put me off. I was doing it. I was learning. I was reading to help them. Then I was able to pull that to help myself when I didn't have a legal representative. So whilst we are doing our own organizing, we are learning one or two things that can help us when we need it. And that's why I'm here today, because I stopped my own deportation by myself. Yeah, so I just I thought I should put that out there so that you can see that we need so many resources. It's not just like legal representation alone. People would need food. I think I mentioned it that time. People might say, oh, how am I going to pay for my house rent? So I'm not ready to go out there. What are we doing within ourselves to make sure that when we create jobs, we employ people who would be in that situation tomorrow to be able to come out and fight for justice and their rights?